Welcome to the conversation series for Air Cargo Africa. I am Nikitha Sebastian from Stat Media Group, and here with me I have Gerald, MD Swissport Ghana. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
So Swissport Ghana plays a key role in cargo handling at Kotoka International Airport, as I understand it. So can you give us an overview of your operations and the scale of cargo that is handled annually?
Yeah, sure. So we have two warehouse facilities in Accra. One which is handling import and export, and one which we have facilitating just for perishable exports. So dedicated to that. In Ghana, there's a lot of perishable exports. So we have a building dedicated to facilitating this and to assisting with the growth of exports out of the country. Our primary warehouse is about 6,000 square meters. We have about 250 square of temp control space, including dedicated farmer space, which is at 15 to 25 degrees, to support the farmer that comes into the country. Our secondary facility is about 2,500 square. This also incorporates a lot of temperature control at 2 to 8 degrees, where we store a lot of the perishables. Our facilities are pretty unique in the region in that we invest a lot into technology and automation. So we have an automated storage and retrieval system, a smalls tower. We have a vault to store gold bullion, which we uplift a lot of. The fridges, as I mentioned, and a lot of roller bed systems to eradicate manual handling.
Okay.
So that we can, really support the airlines in terms of good quality handling. Okay. We also have integrated scales, which read the weights directly into our system, so it eliminates manual errors. And then we have the handhelds as well, so everything's real time in terms of supporting CIQ messaging and things like this for the warehouse.
So a lot of technology going on in there.
Yes, a lot of technology investment that we've put into the facilities.
Okay, I think that's a general thing happening in the world of cargo right now, a lot of tech into handling all of it.
It is. In Africa, we still have some steps to take. Yeah. So this is where our warehouse really does play a key role in the region in showing that this is possible and that these steps can be taken, definitely. Yeah.
So if you could talk about some of the primary type of shipments moving through Swissport Ghana.
Yeah, okay, so we import quite a bit in terms of pharmaceuticals. It's split 40-60, 60% exports, 40% imports. We bring in a lot of pharma, machinery to support the oil industry, the shipping industry, electronics. This sector of the market is growing. On the export side, as I mentioned, it's mostly perishables, so a lot of the local produce that's grown in Ghana, like yams, passion fruit, mangoes, plantain, things like this, always going out. So these are the main type of commodities we handle, and that's why temperature control is very important in our facilities. Yeah.
So which commodities dominate air cargo volumes in terms of both imports and exports?
As I mentioned, the perishable commodities are the main ones. And we support this through automated temp control storage, which is able to give data through to the airlines and to the customers, alarm sensors that go off if there is a temperature excursion. We support this through generators and things like this, because as you know, the infrastructure in terms of electricity and stuff like that can be a little bit fragile. Imports, as I mentioned again, a lot of spares, a lot of things like machinery and things like this, car parts coming in. Yeah. So, the challenge is, even though we invest into these kinds of technologies and infrastructures, to maintain them can be a bit difficult because we don't have the service providers in Africa. So a lot of the time we have to import the parts and import the knowledge. But at the same time, we're training people locally to support this kind of thing. So this then encourages this influx of commodities, because the more trust the airlines can place in us, the more cargo they're then confident to send through to the region.
Yeah. Do you have any example of maybe some specifically challenging or unique cargo that you might have handled?
We do some freighters where we got to get a lot of big machinery and drill parts and things like this. Okay. Recently we've had big dishes, satellite dishes and things coming in to support companies such as Starlink, which are opening
okay.
in Ghana.
Yeah.
So these are really outsized and require specialized handling. So this is where Swissport steps in that we have the equipment to do this kind of thing. The main deck loaders, 20 foot in size. We have a huge facility which it can pass through. We can arrange access for the customers to load straight onto the ramp if they need to as well. And then things go out like live human organs and things like that, which require real specialized care. We do a lot of this. And as I mentioned, gold bullion is also a big commodity that comes out of Ghana, which requires very, very specialized and careful handling. So we've invested a lot of money into having a good vault space and the proper procedures to ensure that this is done seamlessly.
That's an interesting list, I would say.
Yeah.
So Ghana is a major hub for agricultural exports such as fresh produce and cocoa. So how does Swissport Ghana ensure the efficient handling of these perishable goods? I know that is something already talked about, but maybe something more specific?
Yeah, so I mean, aside from the temp control, we have what we call BUP and bypass systems.
Okay.
So this allows some of the bigger customers who are already known consigners registered in Ghana to deliver shipments already built up, ready to go onto the aircraft from their facilities, which minimizes the handling time. So we can accept them as full BUPs. They roll through the warehouse, so no manual handling and everything. We have the scales built in, so it's straight in onto the scale, weighed, and into the fridge and ready to go onto the aircraft. As I mentioned, the scales are integrated with the system as well, so this again quickens the process. And similarly, for those that don't have the known consignor status, they have to be screened. So we've invested in ETDs and high quality X-ray machines, which can allow the goods to pass through very quickly.
Okay. So what are some of the busiest international trade lanes for Ghana's air cargo industry?
So most of the perishables go through to Europe. Okay. Some goes on to the US after that. Then we have good tonnages coming in from South Africa, for example, from Asia as well. It's starting to grow, with the Middle East carriers and things like this. But yeah, the main uplift goes into Europe.
Okay. So which of the global markets have the highest demand for exports from Ghana, and what imports are most significant for the country?
So significant imports, I've mentioned pharma. This is a big thing, supporting the NGO sector, supporting the healthcare sector. And pharma, as you know, can be very fragile, so it really needs special handling and special storage. We work hand in hand with a lot of the companies that bring in the pharmaceuticals to ensure we're always on the same page in terms of handling and how we process their goods and get it to them as quickly as possible. Main trade lanes, as I mentioned, Europe for the exports, the US as well. And we're starting to now try and attract more of the e-commerce goods and things like this in from places like China and Hong Kong.
Yeah, I mean, there's an e-commerce boom going on anyway, so that makes sense, I would say.
There is, and we're trying to make sure we're ready for this. So we do have all the facilities to handle e-commerce, small storage towers and things like this. We now just wait for customs procedures, if I can say, to get in line with this, to quicken the clearance processes, and to allow for that commodity to grow within the country, because it's very popular now.
It is. So infrastructure is a critical factor in efficient cargo handling. So what are the key infrastructure challenges that you face, and how is Swissport working to address them?
So I would say capacity to expand can be a bit difficult. Space at the airports, and I'm not talking specifically about Ghana, but a lot of the airports are running out of space to expand cargo facilities given the acceleration of growth. So some of the facilities are very, very old. We built our own one in Ghana in 2015, so it's now coming up to 10 years old. So for Africa, this is a very new facility. And we continue investing repeatedly every year into the facilities to make sure we stay ahead in terms of even environmental sustainability. So this year, we will complete our entire forklift fleet into fully electrical. That's great. Which is good, and this is in line with the sustainability goals, not only of Swissport, but of the airport authority as well. So, but this can also be a challenge because for electrical GSE, you need the capabilities to charge them.
Yeah.
So then you need a good electrical supply, which can be difficult. And as I mentioned as well, getting the spares in to maintain our GSE and maintain our warehouses can be a bit of a lengthy process.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned customs clearance. So is that and the regulatory procedures what can impact, air cargo efficiency? And how does Swissport Ghana collaborate with authorities to streamline these processes so that you can, reduce the delay?
Yeah, so we've given customs, space within our facility, so
Okay.
they sit right there.
Oh.
We've given them a dedicated portion of the warehouse where they can do their inspections and things like this. So we work with them very closely to ensure that the clearance times are as efficient as possible. We also have the phyto board and people like this that inspect goods coming in for food safety and things like all housed within our facility.
Okay, that must make
So,
it much
yeah,
easier.
exactly.
Yeah.
If there's a problem, we simply go to their
Oh, yeah.
office and we can sort it out all together. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually nice.
Yeah.
So in your opinion, what does the future hold for Ghana's air cargo sector, and how can maybe Swissport contribute to strengthening the country's position as a key logistics hub in
Yeah.
Africa, in West Africa?
So I mean, Ghana's on the uptick now. COVID was bad, really bad for Africa. It's taken time to recover, but we're seeing the improvements now. And where we play a big part is in terms of investing into these quality facilities that give the airlines confidence to continue growing into Africa, increasing their tonnages, increasing their flights. And at the same time, we give very high quality training to our staff. So it's job creativity, giving them a secure environment to work, a long-term career path, long-term growth. So this really helps in the sector in Ghana, and it's really building a stable industry around the airport and around cargo.
So thank you, Gerald. It was great talking to you to get to know more about Africa and all about it. So thank you for being here.
Thank you. My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you.